First Contact Protocol. Captain Ilara Novak stood on the bridge of the Athena, Earth's most advanced exploration vessel, staring at the holographic display that dominated the command center. The strange signal they'd been tracking for the past 3 weeks had led them far beyond the established boundaries of human space, to a system that wasn't even on their star charts. Analysis complete, Captain. Lieutenant Commander Wei announced, his fingers dancing across his console. The signal appears to be an automated beacon of some kind, definitely artificial, definitely not human in origin. Ilara nodded, her steel-gray eyes never leaving the display. After centuries of searching the stars, humanity had finally found proof they weren't alone. "Are we being scanned?" she asked. "Negative, Captain," Security Chief Dmitry Volkov replied, his Russian accent thickening as it always did when he was excited. "If there's anyone out there, they're not looking at us yet. Or we can't detect their scans," Dr. Amara Okafor suggested. The xenobiologist had been anticipating this moment her entire career. "We shouldn't assume our technology can detect everything an advanced alien civilization might use." Ilara considered this. "Maintain our position at the edge of the system. Launch probes to gather preliminary data, but keep our presence minimal." First Contact Protocol is in effect. The bridge crew moved with practiced efficiency, their excitement contained but palpable. Humanity had prepared for this moment for generations, developing protocols and training specialists for the eventual discovery of intelligent alien life. Ilara had never expected to be the one to make that discovery, but she was determined to handle it perfectly. Hours passed as the probes transmitted data back to the Athena. The system contained 9 planets orbiting a yellow star not unlike Sol, though only the 4th planet showed signs of habitation. "Captain," Wei called out suddenly, his voice tense. Multiple objects just appeared in orbit around the 4th planet. They weren't there a minute ago. "Cloaking technology?" Ilara asked. "Or they just arrived," Volkov suggested. "The energy readings suggest they're using some form of faster-than-light travel we've never seen before." Ilara leaned forward. "Can we get visual?" The holographic display shifted, zooming in on the alien vessels. They were sleek, almost organic in design, with hulls that seemed to shimmer with an iridescent quality. 5 vessels, Wei reported. The largest is approximately twice the size of the Athena. Energy signatures suggest they're significantly more advanced than our technology. "They've detected us," Volkov announced. 3 of the vessels are changing course, heading directly for our position. Ilara took a deep breath. This was it. "Open all communication channels. Broadcast our first contact message on all frequencies." The message, a carefully crafted greeting in multiple formats, designed over decades by Earth's linguists and diplomats, began broadcasting into space. The Athena remained stationary, weapons systems dormant, presenting as non-threatening a posture as possible. "They're accelerating," Volkov reported. "Estimated time to intercept, 3 minutes. Maintain our position," Ilara ordered. "Continue broadcasting." The alien vessels approached with impossible speed, decelerating so rapidly that it defied the laws of physics as humans understood them. They arranged themselves in a triangular formation around the Athena, keeping a respectful distance, but clearly in position to attack if necessary. "Captain," Communications Officer Liang interrupted. "We're receiving a transmission. I don't know how, but it's in perfect English." Ilara raised an eyebrow. "Put it through." The holographic display flickered, and an alien figure appeared. It had a vaguely humanoid shape. 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, but the similarities ended there. Its skin was a pale blue with patterns that seemed to shift and change, and its eyes were large, reflective orbs without pupils. "Vessel of unknown origin." The alien spoke, its mouth not quite matching the words. "You have entered territory controlled by the Vraxian Alliance. Identify yourselves and state your purpose." Ilara stepped forward. "I am Captain Ilara Novak of the Earth vessel Athena. We are an exploration ship from the human homeworld, seeking peaceful contact with other intelligent species. We detected a signal from this system and came to investigate. The alien was silent for a moment, its skin patterns shifting more rapidly. "Humans," it finally said, "we have no record of your species in our database. Your technology is primitive by our standards, yet you've achieved interstellar travel. We've only recently developed the capability," Ilara admitted. "This is our first encounter with an alien civilization." The alien made a sound that might have been laughter. "Your first? Most fortuitous for you that it was with the Vraxian Alliance rather than some of the other powers in this region of space. I am Commander Zolvex of the Diplomatic Fleet. Your arrival is unexpected, but not unwelcome." Ilara felt a wave of relief. "We come in peace and with respect for your territory. We didn't realize this system was claimed." "Much of this sector is claimed by various species and alliances," Zolvex explained. "The borders are complex. You are fortunate you didn't emerge in Keldari space. They are less accommodating to unexpected visitors." For the next several hours, the humans and Vraxians exchanged information. The Vraxians, it seemed, were part of a coalition of 7 species that had formed an alliance for mutual protection and trade. They were not the dominant power in the region, but they were respected for their diplomatic skills and advanced technology. There are over 30 known spacefaring civilizations in this sector alone, Zolvex explained during a conference in the Athena's meeting room. The alien commander had agreed to come aboard with a small delegation after initial scans confirmed the ship posed no threat. Some, like the Vraxian Alliance, seek cooperation and peaceful exchange. Others, like the Keldari Imperium, seek only to expand their territory and subjugate other species. "And where do humans fit into this picture?" Ilara asked. Zolvex's skin patterns formed what Ilara was beginning to recognize as an expression of thoughtfulness. "That remains to be seen. Your species is unknown to us, which is unusual. Most civilizations are detected and catalogued long before they achieve interstellar travel." Dr. Okafor leaned forward. "Perhaps Earth's location contributed to our isolation. We're on the outer arm of our galaxy, relatively distant from other star systems." "Perhaps," Zolvex conceded, "or perhaps someone has been protecting you." The statement hung in the air, mysterious and unsettling. "Protecting us?" Ilara finally asked. "From what? From whom would be the better question," Zolvex replied. "The galaxy is ancient, Captain Novak. Civilizations rise and fall over millions of years. Some species evolved early and advanced to levels you can scarcely imagine. Most have disappeared or transcended to forms we no longer recognize. But some remain, watching, guiding, occasionally intervening." Ilara exchanged glances with her officers. This was far beyond what they had expected from first contact. "Are you suggesting that some advanced alien species has been, what? Hiding Earth from the rest of the galaxy?" "It would explain your absence from our records," Zolvex said. "And it would be consistent with certain patterns we've observed. There are regions of space that are off-limits. Protected zones where even the most aggressive species dare not venture. Perhaps your solar system was one such zone." The implications were staggering. Had humanity been developing under the watchful eye of some godlike alien civilization? Had Earth been part of some cosmic nature preserve or experiment? "If that's true," Volkov said slowly, "then by leaving our solar system, have we graduated? Are we now considered ready to join the wider galactic community? Or did we break the rules?" Wei added, his expression concerned. Zolvex's skin rippled in what might have been amusement. "That I cannot answer. But the fact that you've made it this far suggests you are ready for what comes next. The Vraxian Alliance would welcome peaceful relations with humanity. We could serve as your guides to the complex politics of this sector." "And in return?" Ilara asked, knowing there would be a price. "Information exchange, trade opportunities, perhaps, eventually, mutual defense. The galaxy is not always a kind place, Captain. New species often benefit from powerful friends. Before Ilara could respond, an alarm blared through the ship. "Captain, to the bridge," came the urgent call over the intercom. "Excuse me," Ilara said, rising quickly. Zolvex and the other Vraxians followed as she hurried back to the command center. "Report," she ordered as she entered the bridge. Multiple vessels just appeared at the edge of the system. The officer on duty explained. "They're not Vraxian. The design matches nothing in our database." On the holographic display, a dozen ships had appeared, their design angular and predatory compared to the organic lines of the Vraxian vessels. Zolvex's skin paled noticeably. "Keldari warships," the alien said, voice tight with tension. "They must have detected your arrival. This is unfortunate." "Hostile?" Ilara asked. "The Keldari consider all space and all species to be their rightful conquests," Zolvex explained. "They tolerate the Vraxian alliance because all-out war would be costly, but they respect only strength. Your ship would be trivial for them to destroy." As if to emphasize the point, the lead Keldari vessel fired a warning shot, a beam of energy that passed just close enough to the Athena to be detected, but not close enough to be considered an attack. "A demand for submission," Zolvex explained. "They expect you to power down your engines and prepare to be boarded." Ilara's jaw tightened. "That's not going to happen. We've prepared for first contact for generations, but we've also prepared for the possibility that not all alien species would be friendly." She turned to her communications officer. "Contact Earth. Inform them of our situation and activate the Priority Omega Protocol." The officer's eyes widened, but she nodded and began the transmission. "Priority Omega?" Zolvex inquired. "A contingency we hoped never to use," Ilara explained, her expression grim. "Humanity may be new to the stars, Commander, but we are not defenseless, and we do not surrender to threats." As the Keldari ships moved closer, the Athena remained in position, seemingly vulnerable yet defiant. The first chapter in humanity's galactic story was about to take an unexpected turn, and the consequences would echo across the stars. The warning ignored. 6 months after the Athena's first encounter with the Vraxian Alliance and the Keldari Imperium, Captain Ilara Novik found herself in a position she had never imagined, representing humanity at a galactic diplomatic summit. The vast conference chamber aboard the Vraxian diplomatic station Harmony housed representatives from 14 different species. The architecture was deliberately neutral, designed to accommodate beings of vastly different physiologies and environmental needs. Some delegates floated in tanks of specialized liquids, others required higher gravity sections, and a few existed in sealed environments that protected them from what would, to them, be a toxic atmosphere. "The human delegation will now present their proposal," announced the Vraxian moderator, a distinguished elder whose skin patterns had faded to pale pastels with age. Ilara stepped onto the central platform, flanked by Earth's hastily assembled diplomatic corps. In the months since first contact, humanity had been working feverishly to establish itself in the complex web of galactic politics. The Vraxian Alliance had proven to be valuable mentors, helping humans navigate the dangerous waters of interspecies relations. "Esteemed representatives," Ilara began, her voice amplified and simultaneously translated into a dozen different languages. "Humanity thanks you for the opportunity to address this assembly. Our species may be new to the galactic stage, but we come with earnest desires for peaceful coexistence and mutual prosperity." She outlined Earth's proposal, a series of non-aggression pacts and trade agreements designed to establish humanity as a neutral party in the ongoing tensions between the major powers. It was a cautious approach, advocated by Earth's governments after the near disaster with the Keldari 6 months earlier. That incident had ended unexpectedly. Just as the Keldari warships had moved to surround the Athena, a massive vessel had appeared from nowhere. A ship of clearly human design, but of such advanced technology that it had stunned both the Keldari and the Vraxians. The vessel, identifying itself only as Earth Defense Force, had positioned itself between the Athena and the Keldari fleet, broadcasting a simple message. The human vessel is under our protection. Withdraw. The Caldari, after a tense standoff, had retreated. The Earth Defense Force vessel had escorted the Athena back to human space and then disappeared, refusing to answer Ilara's questions. Upon returning to Earth, she had been debriefed by officials who neither confirmed nor denied the existence of such an advanced human fleet. The incident remained classified at the highest levels. The human proposal has merit, the Vraxian representative commented after Ilara finished. Their species shows remarkable adaptability and diplomatic insight for one so young. Young, yes, came the harsh, grating voice of the Caldari delegate. The massive reptilian being stepped forward, its armored scales reflecting the chamber's lights. And naive. The Caldari, Warlord Drexnar, fixed Ilara with 4 gleaming black eyes. Humans speak of peace while hiding their teeth. We have not forgotten the vessel that interfered with legitimate Caldari operations, a vessel of impossible technology for such a primitive species. Murmurs spread through the chamber. The incident had become something of a legend in the past 6 months, growing with each retelling. The vessel in question was not part of Earth's official fleet. Ilara replied carefully, sticking to the script she had been given. Its origins and purpose remain under investigation. Peace is for the weak, Drexnar declared. The Caldari determine the worth of a species through strength. If humans wish to be respected, let them prove their strength. We have no desire to prove anything through force, Ilara responded, maintaining her composure. Earth seeks cooperation, not confrontation. Then you will be conquered, Drexnar stated matter-of-factly. It is the way of the universe. The strong rule, the weak serve. The summit deteriorated from there, with the Caldari delegation withdrawing after issuing what amounted to a thinly veiled threat against human interests. Despite this setback, Earth managed to establish preliminary agreements with the Vraxian Alliance and several other moderate powers. In the months that followed, humanity expanded cautiously into nearby star systems, establishing research outposts and small colonies. The mysterious Earth Defense Force that had protected the Athena was never officially acknowledged, but rumors persisted. Some alien species treated humans with wary respect, while others, particularly those aligned with the Caldari, regarded them with suspicion or outright hostility. Then, without warning, the Caldari attacked. The human colony on Proxima Centauri, Earth's first extrasolar settlement with a population of just over 10,000, went silent. When the Athena arrived to investigate, they found the colony's infrastructure largely intact, but the people gone, taken, according to the few survivors who had hidden during the raid. They came without warning, one shell-shocked colonist reported. They said we were being conscripted. That humans would serve the Imperium whether we agreed to or not. Earth's response was immediate and unexpected. Rather than retreat or call for diplomatic intervention, humanity revealed what many had suspected but few had confirmed. They possessed military technology far beyond what their apparent development level should allow. A fleet of ships similar to the one that had protected the Athena emerged from hidden bases throughout the Sol system. These vessels, officially designated as the Earth Defense Force, utilized technologies that the Vraxians had believed were still centuries beyond human capability. Gravity manipulation, energy shields impervious to conventional weapons, and propulsion systems that could cross vast distances almost instantaneously. The fleet converged on the Caldari border outpost that had coordinated the attack on Proxima Centauri. What followed wasn't a battle so much as a demonstration. The Earth ships systematically disabled the Caldari defenses without destroying them, infiltrated their security systems with ease, and extracted every human captive without a single casualty on either side. Then, in a move that shocked the galactic community, they departed, leaving the Caldari outpost intact but completely defenseless, its weapons and shields permanently disabled. The message was clear. Humans could have destroyed you, but chose not to. This is Admiral Helena Chen of the Earth Defense Force. came the broadcast that was transmitted not just to the Caldari, but to every spacefaring civilization in the sector. Let this serve as humanity's first and final warning. We have maintained a policy of concealment regarding our true capabilities out of a desire for peaceful integration into the galactic community. That policy ends today. The Admiral's face, stern and uncompromising, filled view screens across thousands of worlds. Earth and all human settlements are henceforth declared sovereign and inviolable. Any aggressive action against human interests will be met with overwhelming force. We do not seek territory or conquest. We do not wish to rule or dominate. But make no mistake, we will defend our own. The broadcast ended with a simple statement that would soon become famous throughout the sector. Humans are off limits. We don't harm them. Neither should you. In the aftermath, the galactic political landscape shifted dramatically. The Caldari, humiliated but wary of further confrontation, withdrew their forces from the borders of human space. The Vraxian Alliance and other moderate powers sought to strengthen their ties with Earth, recognizing the value of having such a powerful civilization as an ally. But questions remained. How had humanity developed such advanced technology in secret? Why had they concealed their true capabilities? And perhaps most importantly, what were their real intentions? Ilara found herself summoned to a private meeting with Zalvex, who had become Earth's primary liaison with the Vraxian Alliance. "Your species continues to surprise us," the Vraxians said when they were alone. "The technology your defense force displayed. It should be impossible for a civilization at your stage of development." Ilara had been briefed on what she could reveal. "Earth has a complex history, Commander. For centuries, certain advanced technologies were developed in secret, reserved for defense purposes only. We hoped never to need them." "A wise precaution," Zalvex conceded. "But it raises concerns among some of my colleagues. If humans hid this, what else might they be hiding?" "Nothing that threatens peaceful species," Ilara assured him. "Earth has no territorial ambitions beyond protecting our existing colonies." Zalvex's skin patterns shifted in what Ilara had come to recognize as thoughtful contemplation. "There is a theory gaining traction among our xenohistorians. They believe your Earth may have been more than just protected. It may have been guided." "Guided? By whom?" "By those who came before, the Ancient Ones, species that evolved millions of years ago and shaped the galaxy as we know it. Most disappeared or transcended to forms beyond our comprehension, but their technologies, their influences, sometimes appear in unexpected places. The implication hung between them, that humanity's advanced technology wasn't entirely of their own making, that perhaps they had discovered or inherited something left behind by these Ancient Ones. It's just a theory," Zalvex continued when Ilara didn't respond. "But it would explain much. And if true, it means that humanity may have a greater role to play in galactic events than anyone anticipated." As Ilara left the meeting, she reflected on how dramatically humanity's position had changed in less than a year. From an unknown species making their first tentative steps beyond their solar system to a power that even the aggressive Caldari now treated with caution. Earth's true technological capabilities remained classified even from her, but she understood the strategy behind the revelation. Humanity had hoped to integrate peacefully, to be accepted based on diplomacy rather than strength. When that approach failed, they had demonstrated just enough power to establish boundaries without appearing as conquerors. It was a delicate balance, showing strength without inspiring fear, setting boundaries without isolating themselves. And as reports came in from across the sector of other, smaller species, now looking to Earth for protection against aggressors like the Caldari, Ilara realized that humanity had unwittingly stepped into a new role. Protectors, guardians, a species that other civilizations could turn to when threatened by the bullies of the galaxy. It wasn't a role Earth had sought, but perhaps it was one they were uniquely suited for. Guardians of the weak. 5 years after humanity's demonstration against the Caldari, the galactic landscape had transformed. What had begun as a simple boundary-setting exercise, "Don't attack humans," had evolved into something far more complex and far-reaching. Admiral Helena Chen, now the head of the newly formed Galactic Security Council, stood on the observation deck of Harmony Station. The diplomatic outpost, once a Vraxian facility, had been rebuilt and expanded into the galaxy's premier neutral ground, a place where representatives from dozens of species could meet in safety. "The Tellurians have signed the Protection Accord," reported her aide, a young lieutenant named Marcus Rodriguez. "That makes 23 species now under humanity's defensive umbrella." Helena nodded, watching the ships moving around the station. Vessels of countless designs representing civilizations with histories stretching back thousands or even millions of years, all converging on this human-administered outpost. "And the Keldari response?" she asked. "Predictable. Threats, posturing, but no direct action. They've lost 3 minor client species to the Accord in the past month alone. Their influence is waning. It hadn't been Earth's intention to become a galactic superpower. After the Proxima Centauri incident, they had simply wanted to establish boundaries, to make clear that attacking human settlements would carry severe consequences. But in demonstrating their ability to effortlessly neutralize Keldari forces, they had inadvertently revealed something else, that they were capable of protecting not just themselves, but others. The requests had started within days. Small, vulnerable species that had long suffered under Keldari raids or exploitative trade agreements approached Earth's diplomats with a simple proposition: extend your protection to us, and we will become your allies. Earth's governments had debated furiously. Some argued that humanity should focus solely on its own defense and expansion. Others saw an opportunity to reshape galactic politics for the better. In the end, pragmatism won out. Having allies was better than having none, and if protecting those allies cost little given Earth's advanced technology, the benefits outweighed the risks. Thus, the Protection Accord was born, a mutual defense agreement that bound signatories to peaceful relations with each other, while placing them under Earth's defensive shield. "Admiral," Rodriguez interrupted her thoughts. "Captain Novak has arrived with the Vraxian delegation." Helena turned to see Ilara Novak, now Ambassador Novak, entering the observation deck alongside Zalvex and several other Vraxian officials. The species that had been humanity's first alien contact had become their closest allies, serving as advisors and intermediaries as Earth navigated its new role. "Ambassador," Helena greeted her, "I trust your mission to the outer colonies was successful." Ilara nodded, though her expression was grave. "The situation is stabilized for now. The Vraxian presence helped legitimize our intervention in the eyes of the local species. But," Helena prompted, sensing there was more. "But we're stretched thin," Ilara admitted. "Every time we demonstrate our capability to protect one group, 3 more come asking for the same. The Protection Accord now covers species in 7 different sectors. Even with our technology, maintaining a presence across such a vast area is challenging." Zalvex stepped forward, the patterns on his skin shifting in what Helena had come to recognize as concern. "There is another matter we must discuss, Admiral. Our long-range sensors have detected anomalies at the edge of explored space." "What kind of anomalies?" "Energy signatures unlike anything in our records. Movement patterns that defy conventional space-time physics. Several outposts near the border regions have gone silent." Helena frowned. "Keldari activity?" "No," Zalvex said firmly. "Whatever this is, it's beyond even Keldari capabilities. We suspect it may be something else, something older." A chill ran down Helena's spine. In the 5 years since humanity had revealed itself as a major power, they had learned much about galactic history, about civilizations that had risen and fallen over millions of years, about technologies developed and lost, about beings that had transcended physical form. They had also learned about the darker aspects of that history, of species that had been extinguished, of worlds that had been rendered uninhabitable, of threats that lurked in the void between galaxies, waiting for opportunities to feed. "Have you shared this information with the other council members?" she asked. Not yet, Ilara replied. We wanted to consult with Earth first. If this is what we fear it might be, panic would not serve us well. Helena nodded, appreciating the discretion. Prepare a briefing for the full council. Classified, top-level access only, and dispatch scout ships to the affected regions. Stealth, observation only. As Ilara and Zalvex departed to carry out her orders, Helena returned her gaze to the viewport. The stars looked the same as they always had, but her perception of them had changed dramatically in recent years. What had once seemed a silent, empty void now teemed with life, with history, with potential, and with danger. The scout ships returned 2 weeks later with troubling news. Something was indeed moving at the edge of explored space, something vast and ancient and utterly alien. The energy signatures matched no known civilization, and the patterns of movement suggested a coordinated effort rather than natural phenomena. We're calling them the Void Collective, explained the lead scientist, a brilliant Vraxian physicist named Trelnar. Based on the scattered records we've been able to piece together from various archives, we believe they may be one of the elder species, civilizations that evolved billions of years ago, near the beginning of the universe itself. The briefing room fell silent as the implications sank in. Elder species were semi-mythical in galactic lore, beings said to wield technologies so advanced they were indistinguishable from magic, entities that had transcended physical limitations and existed in states of being that younger species could barely comprehend. What do they want? Asked one of the council members, a representative from a gas giant species called the Jovians. Unknown, Trelnar admitted, but their path is clear. They're moving toward the core systems, toward the most densely populated regions of our galaxy, and everything in their path simply ceases to exist. The council descended into chaotic debate. Some argued for immediate evacuation of border worlds. Others insisted on attempting communication. A few, led by the Keldari representative, demanded a preemptive strike with the combined military might of all spacefaring species. Helena let the arguments continue for several minutes before raising her hand for silence. This threat, if it is indeed a threat, appears to be beyond any single species' ability to address, she said calmly. Even humanity's advanced technology may not be sufficient. This will require cooperation on an unprecedented scale. She turned to the Keldari representative, not Drexinar, who had been replaced after the humiliation of the Proxima Centauri incident, but a younger, more pragmatic warlord named Kreshvar. You've advocated for a military response, she said. What would you propose specifically? The Keldari seemed surprised to be addressed directly but recovered quickly. The Imperium possesses weapons of last resort, planet killers, star destabilizers, weapons we have refrained from using against civilized opponents. Combined with Earth's defensive capabilities and the Vraxians' sensor technology, we might create a containment zone. There was a time when the mere mention of such weapons would have horrified Helena. Now she simply nodded. The Void Collective, if that's what they truly are, may not be affected by conventional weapons, but your proposal has merit as a starting point. She surveyed the room, meeting the eyes, or equivalent sensory organs, of each council member. I propose the formation of a unified response team, representatives from each major power pooling our knowledge, our technology, our strategies. This is no longer about human protection or Keldari expansion or Vraxian diplomacy. This is about survival. Over the following months, the unthinkable happened. Species that had been enemies for centuries set aside their differences to work together against a common threat. The Keldari shared military technology they had previously guarded jealously. The Vraxians opened their oldest archives, containing knowledge from civilizations long extinct, and humanity revealed the source of their seemingly impossible technological leap, the discovery, decades earlier, of an ancient one outpost buried beneath the surface of Mars. We found it in 2047, Admiral Chen explained to the assembled council. A facility of alien origin, abandoned but intact, containing technology and knowledge beyond our comprehension. Earth's governments agreed to keep it secret, to study it slowly and carefully, to prevent the chaos that immediate disclosure might cause. The revelation explained much about humanity's peculiar development, their rapid advancement in some areas while remaining primitive in others, their unexpected capabilities in space defense, their unusual approach to interspecies relations. We've been guided by what we learned there, Helena continued. The facility contained not just technology, but history, records of previous cycles of galactic civilization, of rises and falls, of threats countered and threats that prevailed. The Void Collective was mentioned, though only in fragments, as one of the most ancient and enduring dangers. The combined fleet that assembled at the edge of explored space was unlike anything the galaxy had seen in recorded history. Ships of every design, carrying representatives of dozens of species, all united against a common enemy. At its center was the Defender, Earth's flagship, carrying not just human officers, but a command staff drawn from every major species. Captain Ilara Novak, given temporary command of the Defender for this mission, stood on its bridge beside Kreshvar of the Keldari and Zalvex of the Vraxians, a triumvirate representing the three most influential powers in the coalition. The Void Collective has changed course, reported the sensor officer, a Tellurian whose 8 eyes provided superior spatial awareness. They're accelerating toward our position. They've detected us, Kreshvar growled. The element of surprise is lost. We never truly had it, Zalvex countered. Beings of their advancement would have been aware of us from the moment we began assembling. Ilara studied the tactical display, where the Void Collective appeared as a swarm of energy signatures, moving in patterns that defied conventional physics. Begin transmission of the message on all frequencies, all formats. The message, a complex combination of mathematical formulas, visual patterns, and conceptual models designed to communicate peaceful intent while demonstrating intellectual capability, had been the work of thousands of the galaxy's brightest minds. If the Void Collective could be reasoned with, this represented their best chance. For several tense minutes, there was no response. Then, suddenly, a signal washed over the fleet, not a conventional transmission, but a pulse of energy that somehow conveyed meaning directly to the minds of everyone present. We see you, children of the third cycle. You have grown faster than anticipated. The words weren't heard but felt, understood at a level deeper than language. Ilara glanced at her companions and saw they had received the same message.